Hi everyone, I'm Jamie, and today I'm going to teach you some tips that I've learned about blow drying your dreadlocks. How do you dry those dreads? I dry them like this. How do you dry those dreads? I dry them like this. Blow dry. Now, I've had my dreadlocks for about 6 years now. I also do them professionally in a salon and have talked to a ton of people about what they do to take care of their dreads. So out of all these tips, let me tell you guys what I've learned. Always blow dry your hair. The biggest misconception about all dreadlocks, is that they're smelly. The only dreadlocks that are smelly out there are usually dreadlocks that are full of mold. This is caused from not blow drying your hair. Now, I'm not saying everybody that doesn't blow dry their hair will end up with mold, but a lot of the time you will, because it's just clumps of hair. You need to get the center of your hair completely dry for it to not grow mold. So always try to dry your hair as much as you can. Invest in a good towel. It's totally worth it. It's so worth it. I got this body sheet. It's amazing. It's so much bigger than a towel. It's like 3 towels put together, but it dries my hair so well. I love it. Invest in a good towel. It is worth the investment. If you guys need to find a towel, I have a link down in the description of the one that I have. Before you get out of the shower when your hair is still super wet, wring it out. If your hair is too short to wring it out, separate it into little sections and try to wring those sections out, or else at least squeeze them a lot to get a lot of the moisture out of them. Doing this and getting a lot of the moisture out this way will save you so much time later when you're blow drying. I personally like to blow dry my hair about 50% of the way dry before I roll it or add any product to it. I want to get a lot of that moisture out of it, especially out of the ends. If you have extensions, I don't have extensions, this is all my hair, but I have had extensions in the past. And extensions on dreadlocks like to really hold on to moisture. So especially if you have extensions on your dreads, make sure to dry them about 50% of the way before you roll them out. After you dry it about halfway, grab your favorite product. I like this Dreadlocks non-champa spray stuff. It has sea salt in it. It makes your hair feel awesome. But get your personal favorite product that's hopefully residue free and roll your hair. Rolling your hair will help get a lot more of the moisture that you didn't even feel like was in your hair back out of your hair. Another good thing about rolling your hair when it's wet is that the lumps and bumps come out way easier on wet hair than they do on dry hair. Use a concentrator. Concentrators are these little nozzles that your blow dryer came with. Don't throw this away. Don't throw it in a drawer. Just because you don't know what it is doesn't mean you shouldn't use it. What this does is it concentrates the flow of the air to hit your hair instead of flying out and hitting the wall and hitting everywhere else that you don't want it to hit, because with the air not just going straight to your hair, it's going to take so much longer for your hair to dry. Make sure that you hold the heat down your hair, especially when you get to the top of your hair. Dreadlocks like to be frizzy. A way to help this problem is when you're blow drying, direct the heat from the roots down to the ends. Personally, I like to really dry my roots until they're almost all the way dry, and then I'll start to work my way down the ends. Don't just focus on one spot because you don't want to burn your hair. You want to get it all dry pretty evenly, but again, from roots to ends. Don't blow up into your dreads. This is so bad and is going to cause so much frizz. Have you ever dried your hair, thought they were 100% dry, turned the blow dryer off and your hair's still wet? So a way that you can prevent this from happening is right when you get done blow drying and you feel like your hair is 100% of the way dry, before you turn your blow dryer off, turn on the cool button. Hit your hair with cool. What the cool will do is it doesn't just add shine to your dreads, but it will also cool them down. So if any of them are wet, you're going to feel that wetness in your hair. You don't have to dry your hair 100% of the way dry. I have curls on the bottom of my hair, and when I dry it 100% of the way dry, they just lay so ugly. I love having them curl up. So I'll usually dry my hair about 90% of the way dry. Try to get as much of that moisture out as I can, especially in the midsections and the bottom where it really likes to hold on. I make sure that those are almost 100% of the way dry, but I'll leave my ends a little wet and I'll just let them air dry the rest of the way so that my curl curls back up. Now this is for me. If you want to dry your hair 100% of the way, go for it. And my last tip, invest in a hooded dryer. It will change your life. You can sit and watch TV as your hair dries. You can sit and take a nap as your hair dries. Just pay attention to the hooded dryer while you're sitting under it. Don't put it on the highest heat because it will get the top of your head way too dry before it starts to dry the bottom. So leave it on a nice medium heat. Put it up about 2-3 inches above your head so that it's not laying right on top of it. And relax. Sit back, let your dreads dry. It's so much easier and it's totally worth it. If you guys need one, I have a link down in the description where you can find one. And that's it. Those are all my dreadlock drying tips. Did I leave any out? Tell me down in the comments because I love learning new things. And everybody's dreadlocks are different. Just because your dreadlocks might dry different than mine doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong. The most important thing is just make sure to dry them at least 90% of the way dry. Well, I hope this video helped you guys out. Let me know down in the comments if it did or not, and give me a thumbs up if you liked it. I'll see you guys next week. Don't forget to subscribe for new videos every Monday. Bye, everyone. Blow dry. Blow dry your hair now. Blow dry. Blow dry the